What up, body bags? BDG Reviews here. We're back again with another theme week. This week's theme is guilty pleasures. So I am starting off with a doozy. This is a movie I genuinely like, and it's gonna piss off some people. That would be the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Uh, yeah. I'll go first with what's wrong with this movie, because this movie has a lot of stuff wrong with it. The acting in this movie, for like all the kids and everything, is genuinely bad. There's a lot of questionable CGI, to say the least. There are scenes in here that are CGI that don't need to be CGI, but it is what it is, right? The pacing of this movie isn't particularly great. And you know what? All around, like, I admit it, it's not a great movie, but I enjoy it. And here's why. I find what this movie does right overshadows the stuff it does wrong. So, for example, I think Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy Krueger is a genuinely good performance. Hello. People complain about the makeup, they say, like, he looks like a frog. You know what? Just Google burn victims. They kind of look like that, So, I'm not gonna sit down. I'm not gonna shit on them for, making a burn victim look like a burn victim. Some people complain about the voice. I had no problem with it. What this movie, one of the biggest flaws that this movie has, and I'm going to be honest here, is its constant callbacks to the original. The thing is, this was never going to be like the new Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street's a classic. They should have gone in a totally different direction. They had it going with the idea, the subplot of, like, Freddy being innocent. Maybe they should have run with that. Maybe they should have, given us, like, a different story than what we've been told before. But the constant shoutbacks to the original really, it makes it hard to view this movie as its own thing, because they're constantly referencing it. Like the scene where, like, the wall bends, from the original, which was done awesomely. He's done in CG in this and looks kind of like crap. The bathtub scene, with the club, it's nowhere near as good in this. The Tina character being drug away, like, in the middle of the hall, it wasn't necessary. Honestly, I would have preferred it had they stuck with something new. And I think a lot of people would too. The new elements that are in this, I find thoroughly enjoyable. I like the idea that Freddy might have been innocent. I thought that could have been something really cool. I like the fact that, like, the micro naps which they have going on, which I think is kind of a neat idea, like, your body just kind of shuts itself off and there's nothing you can do about it. I like that. The problem with this movie, like I said, it's hampered by its reliance on the original, and actors who, I don't know if I want to say didn't care or just weren't good enough. When you look at the original and you look at the roles of, like, the character of Nancy and all them, they were genuinely interesting characters to begin with. These people are not. They're just, they're cannon fodder. They're cannon fodder, and you're cool with that. It's okay. So yeah, there are a lot of negatives, but I really enjoy this film. I'm going to tell you this right now. I saw this movie 3 times in the theater. Now, admitted, 2 of those times were on free passes that I got from like some movie that screwed up. I can't remember what, but still, I enjoyed it. It could be just the fact that, it was the first like Nightmare on Elm Street movie I ever actually got to see in the theater. I don't really count Freddy versus Jason, but it is what it is. Um, no one's ever going to be able to replace Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. And the problem is they shouldn't really have tried. They should have, like, if they'd gone with like a different version of Freddy, like I said, um, maybe it could have been something unique. Maybe something like the fact that he's taking people out now is literally just because he was maybe not innocent, but maybe not guilty. There is a difference there, Um, it would have been interesting, and it could have gone its own way, and I think it would have found its audience a lot sooner. As is right now, most people really don't like this movie, and compared to the other Nightmare movies, it probably is. I'm gonna say the third worst, but honestly, just looking at it on its own, it's fun. It's cheesy. It's I dig it, honestly. For a rating, for an honest rating, I give the actual movie itself maybe like kind of like a 3 out of 10. Um, as for my own personal rating, I love this movie, so I give it a 9 out of 10. So take that for what you will. But then again, this is Guilty Pleasure Week. You're probably going to be hearing a lot of stuff which might be a little off the cuff, to say the least. But yeah, that's it for me. See you next week.